I'm trying to speak in a deeper voice because when I edit this, I sound like a squeaky pig. So I'm actually trying to be more ladylike and speak in a more measured manner. Your reading today is Do They Miss You and Why? And you've got 3 choices as usual. Number 1, number 2 and number 3. So if you want to take your choice, then we'll get started.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, hi there, plan number 1. I'm going to start again. I just started talking complete rubbish, so let's go and continue. Right, I think that your person has got a very sweet nature. I think they come across as quite innocent and quite childlike in some way with regards to how they approach situations. I think they expect people to be open, and I think they expect people to be kind. I think they're a little shocked if there's a little bit more going on in a situation. I'm not saying that is in this case whatsoever. I'm just sort of picking up your person's energy. It feels innocent and trusting to me from the very beginning. And the situation between you two almost feels as if it's the complete opposite. And I think that's probably why this person's thrown up in the air a little bit. I think this person feels a connection with you, but it's possible that this connection has bowled them over in some way, or that it's just finished or ended in some way which they can't really wrap their head around. Because the situation between the pair of you is coming across as the Tower, but the other person is coming across as the Page of Cups. So I think your person is quite childlike in a sweet way. Last night we were sat watching Cliff Richard. It was on TV. I honestly haven't got the video, and he was on his summer holiday, and they were all dancing around on their summer holiday, and it was like one of those old-fashioned films. And I remember watching it thinking, when I was a kid, I thought life was going to be like that. And I was so disappointed when I have to go to work every day and nobody's dancing. And that's a feeling I get from your person. Page of Cups is almost an air of innocence that expects life to be smooth and loving and people to meet them with the same energy that they put out. And what has happened in your relationship, I am thinking that it has tumbled in some way. I don't know whether it's negative or positive, whether they've met you and it's stirred up emotions they didn't think they had, or whether the emotions are more than they've normally dealt with in situations, and it's just been it's not Cliff Richard, it's like Mount Vesuvius. The barrier to your relationship, well, the reason that you two may not be together at the moment has got something to do with either a home environment or some stable situation, which could be anything to do with like work or a home, or just something that is like a stable environment with 4 walls, which could be work or home, or just it could even be that you make this person feel unstable. Because the 4 card is those 4 posts, as you can see here, coming out of the ground, and there's a canopy on top, and it just provides that stability that I think this person needs to feel nourished in some way. And for some reason your relationship or your connection is making them feel as if they're unstable. I'm not saying this is bad, because this part is about do they miss you. And I wonder whether they're ruminating over something that feels slightly out of kilt to the way they normally think about you, or how they think about relationships, or how they normally, it just feels uneven. It feels as if this person likes smoothness and this person likes stability, but something's rocked them. And this is probably what they're playing over in their mind. I think if you want to move forward with this person, I think with regards to the cards that we've had so far, I think you need to be this person's stability. I think they want you to show up in their life with a almost measured approach to something, or to everything, and a mature attitude. I'm not saying you're not mature, I'm just saying I think this is what this person needs to make them feel safe to function in the outside world. It gives me the feeling of somebody who's like earthy and watery. There's the innocence and there's a softness there, but there's also that need to know where they stand in a situation. And this card is almost looking at me as if they want to know the answer. So your person misses you because they don't understand the connection. They don't understand how they function in everyday life compared to how you make them feel. And they're looking at you for some sort of stability to make everything okay again. What they miss about you is your ease of contact. They miss that this is what they miss about you. You've got the Four of Swords and you've got the Two of Cups. Two of Cups to me always best card in the pack. It always makes me feel good when I get this card out, because it's even, they've got the Lovers here too, but it's, to me it feels like it's moving. It feels like it's action rather than just a concept. So the Two of Cups, this person feels a real connection with you, and with the Four of Swords here, you're the type of person who they could sit with for a long time, even if they don't need to speak. It's just that connection and that ease. It's like a Moon-Venus contact, which I think this person would probably enjoy. I think your person just feels at ease with you. I wonder whether you are in contact quite often, or you have been in contact quite often, and you know each other quite well, and it's like a friendship. And this person just sees it as that, and I'm wondering whether this is some sweet connection, like a friendship or a work situation, or just something where you get on really well, and there are feelings there. I don't know if it's one-sided or two-sided yet, as it comes from both of you. And it's making them feel unsteady. And they're almost looking for balance, and they want you to be balanced to sort of reflect the way that they need to feel as if they can move forward. There's a real ease of contact, there's a real ease of conversing, there's just an attraction there. And I've got a feeling that this person almost feels like it's an innocent attraction. But I think there's more seeping into their feelings, and that's where the confusion is coming from with this pile. The best thing about you both is the Lovers. So what they miss about you is the Two of Cups and Four of Swords. They miss about you the connection, the attraction, the magnetism, and there's that feeling of wanting to be with you. And what so the best thing about you both is the Lovers. So you possibly could have been in an established relationship. You possibly could have had a relationship rather than just the connection there. So there may be more to this, but there's still, from this person, I think your person's quite I'm trying to think of the word. I think your person's quite optimistic, and just, it's almost like they haven't had the sweet bits burnt out of them in life, and they're always expecting life to be good and open and friendly and fun. And there's been a connection here which they feel is really strong, and you possibly could have been together as lovers in the past, and something has happened that's moved you both away. And what they're missing is that connection, but it could be more than what I was trying to say here. With a Lover's card, it could be actual physical connection as well. So they're not only are they missing, this is possible, not only they're missing the communication and the conversations and feeling at ease with you, but they're actually missing the physical contact. And that's only going to apply if you have been have been in a relationship. Or, it possibly could be what they're missing is the prospect of that if you haven't. Because a Lover's card is a strong card, and especially to have it with the Two of Cups, there's a real strong connection between you both. Right, the future influences. I think you've scared this person. I think your person is scared of their own feelings, and the future influence is the Seven of Pentacles. So with you, the Queen of Pentacles here, for you to move forward in this relationship, I think you're going to be the one that shows up with a sort of boss energy and move in small steps towards this person, because I think this person is going to be like a deer and basically flip off and is that wrong? Just disappear. If you startle them, or if your moves are too firm or too robust in some way, they're going to be off. It's almost as if you have to tiptoe towards this person and just generally keep digging and digging in with the relationship if you want to be with this person. So from your perspective, and this is what I'm getting, I think that you have really strong feelings for somebody who is sweet, and they may have this like air of bravado about them, but they come across as generally very sweet natured, and I think the passion between the pair of you is with these cards is strong, and you're almost trying already to dumb down your passion, dumb down your feelings so that you don't frighten this person away. Your person is a little bit jumpy. They could be like a Pisces, Gemini sort of feel, where they don't like to be hemmed in. They like the attraction and they feel the attraction, but they're not really sure what to do with very strong feelings. You have strong feelings, you've got the strength here, and something big has happened between the pair of you in the past. And I don't know whether this is sexual connection with the Lovers and the Two of Cups, and whether they weren't expecting it, and they're just looking for stability. They want things to be equal, and they're almost looking for you to take the lead. And I don't mean a forward lead as in, it's just basically to show them which way to move next, rather than to come in full pelt into this relationship. And from their perspective, they've got the Eight of Pentacles, so you've got two Pentacle cards here. So I wonder whether your person is quite earthy. Did I say that already? Earth and water. So they may want everything to move slowly. They may want everything to be just so and be quite practical and be almost old-fashioned in some ways. It does make me feel old-fashioned. I wonder if your person's got quite old-fashioned values. That they think relationships should move slowly. Maybe you have as well. And they're almost looking for that in a person. So they're looking for the Queen of Pentacles, somebody who is homely or home-loving in some sense, somebody who is right and just and solid and there. It makes you think of like a farmer's wife type of thing. Somebody who is there, who doesn't, I'm not saying doesn't give way to fits of giggles, but somebody who's not too flouncy, not too... This is really rude then. It's just there, just solid, and work slowly towards things, because I think your person is going to bolt if somebody made a move on your person who was quite fiery, who was, oh my god, this card up here coming out at the moment, who was quite sexual. I think it would frighten them a bit. I think they're quite at ease with them making a sexual move as long as it's their idea. But for somebody to come forward to them, unless it was done in a very smooth manner, to basically be that type. If somebody came in to the room dressed in a jacket and then nothing else, I think they would honestly put their trainers on. Okay, right, let's keep moving. So, why did they want you back? I think they thought that they were moving forward with you, and I think they were feeling the passion and they were feeling the sexual pull, and they were feeling like it was a really good adventure, and something has tipped the balance to frighten them. I don't even know really what has tipped the balance to frighten them, but the connection is there, and I wonder whether you have been in some sort of relationship that was sexual in the past, or that just the connection is strong. You frighten this person, and it's not that they don't want to move forward with you, but they need to do it in a measured manner. I'm just going to say this quickly because I know it's not going to apply to many, but if your person's already with somebody, or has somebody on the sidelines, or has a past girlfriend in the picture, or has a relationship with somebody else, I don't think situation will move forward. Not at the moment. I still get the feeling that if that is the case, then this person feels it strongly. They feel the connection with you and it's extremely strong. Or they feel love towards you and it's like an innocent love, as in, it's almost as if there is somebody in this, three people in this relationship, I will say this quickly because I know it's not going to apply to everyone, that they have almost like an innocent idea about this relationship. So why can't we be together? Because we're just friends, but deep down they're lying to themselves because they know there's more there than friendship. And you may be trying to hold on to your passion, and then the situation's almost got out of hand because they basically almost had to own up to the connection and realise what's going on, and they're looking for stability, and then all they can cope with from you is like slow, steady movements, because they are just going to bolt because they feel as if they possibly could be unfaithful. If they haven't already been unfaithful, mentally, yes, they have been. Physically, I'm not sure. But there's definitely passion between your connection. The attraction is definitely there. Knight of Wands is just adventure. It's forward moving. It's excitement. It's that. You know, it just is really. It's attraction. It's attraction, and it's somebody who wants to move with it. But I think your person is pulling back and almost saying, I can't move forward with this for some reason. If it's not other people in a relationship, I think they just need to move slow. And the way forward out of this, if they're not with somebody already, is to possibly come towards them as part of a group, to invite them out in a group situation, because I think they are, it makes me think of somebody who's young in their head, somebody who's sweet and young and doesn't, I'm not saying they haven't got lots of experience in relationships, but it's almost as if they have that air of innocence that always makes you feel like it's fresh and they're fresh in any relationship. But I do think this person gives me the impression of somebody who is startled. The Deer and the Tower. This person is ready to run for nothing to do with you, just inside themselves. They feel like they're on uneven ground. And they're looking for you for stability, to say, yes, I feel the connection too, but don't worry, you know, we'll just move at whatever pace we can. I don't know what your situation is, but whatever case we can for you to feel comfortable. It's like puppy training in some way. You've got to do bit by bit until you gain this person's confidence. And it's almost as if you have to hide your passion to do that. This person wants to come to you and meet you with the same passion that you're feeling. But for some reason, I don't know whether this person is in a relationship, or the past could have some influence in the way that you have ended your connection, if that applies at all. Because this is the situation from where you stand and you've got the Tower. So I'm just thinking this person may be tentative because of something that's fallen to pieces between the pair of you in the past. Some argument, some situation. Oh, I don't know. It could be anything, the Tower. But it's something that's rocked your world probably, and definitely this person's world. And if this person still has that innocent look in their eye, that they want to move forward with you. You've got the Page of Cups, you've got the Two of Cups, and you've got the Lovers. Really strong feelings, but they won't do it because they feel as if they're on shaky ground. Okay, I'm going to finish there. So, do they miss you? Without doubt. It's huge, huge, huge attraction here. And it's that need to feel stable before they can move forward. You're hiding the attraction. They want to come forward to you, but they're scared. There's a fear in this pile. Not a negative fear, but just a tentative fear. But the strength of feelings are there. The connection is felt. And they just need stability to have that confidence to move forward, because something has happened in the past which has made them feel as if they are on shaky ground. Could be to do with, let me just stick a few cards on here to find out a bit more. See, I don't think, to be totally honest, even with this connection that you both have, to me, as the energy goes at this moment, I don't think that you are meant to be together at this particular time. There's like healing and there's thinking and fantasizing. This person misses you, but it's almost as if the situation may not be kicking off at the moment because they need time to heal and to think and to basically weigh up options. And that's almost as if with these cards, these pentacle cards here, as if you need to give them that room. Because they don't feel stable. They feel, it makes me feel, I'm making this scenario totally up, of somebody who's been attracted to somebody else who's taken already, and there's a threat there of telling the other partner, or meeting you when you're with your other partner. It's that feel, and those are scenarios I made up totally, but that's what it makes me think of, that the connection is there, the attraction is there, but this person has to remove themselves to heal and almost think that the decisions are theirs rather than the fact that time is coming in on them. They've got to hurry up and make a decision. And they're just asking you to be patient and wait and just move slowly towards them. If, just to keep plugging away and be there. No, I can't say that. You can't be there for somebody who's going to take flipping ages. But I think they're asking you to be mature and stable. And I don't know whether this connection with these cards here, is meant to be together in the end anyway. So don't wait too long, but just be yourself. Just be there, just be stable. Don't push, don't pull. But just know that the attraction is there and they feel it, and there possibly could be with the Lovers and the Tower some past sexual encounter which has thrown them up in the air because they were almost thinking, well, I don't know what to say there. It's thrown them up in the air if they've got somebody else because they were almost lying to themselves thinking that the connection wasn't as strong as it was, and then you've maybe slept together and it's shaken them. Possibility. You can interpret that any way you want, I suppose. The Tower and the Lovers, it's a real shake-up call, but to do with attraction and connection and a bond that I feel has taken them out of their comfort zone. Right, pile number 1. I hope that makes sense in some way. Real strong attraction that they are petrified of. So are they missing you? Without a doubt they're missing you. They feel it. They're fantasizing, but they need that time to just basically get themselves together. And they're asking you just to wait, but don't wait for anybody. Just be yourself, I suppose. And wait as long as it feels comfortable for you, but life needs to keep moving. Right, thank you for listening, pile number 1. I hope to see you again. Number 2. Straight from the beginning, I think that you had, or if you're not together now, which is probably why they're missing you, had a real strong intellectual and communicative connection. I was trying to think of a word that sounds so awkward, but I think you just basically hit it off the way that you talk together, possibly flirt together. You probably joke together, but there's a real sexy feel about your parent, the way that you communicate. You're probably somebody, or both of you may be somebody, who enjoys words and playing. And I think your connection would have been based on flirty fun. Chatting, banter, joking, just a lot of give and a lot of take. But I think your person is coming across the 8 of Wands, so I think they probably were quite sexual with the way that they spoke, or the way that they wrote to you, or the way they communicated in some way. From your situation, you just see as if they've ignited something in you that's really got your mind going. And I wonder whether it's to do with the way they communicate. You may be quite you might be quite airy in your chart and have that need to communicate. You may be somebody who likes to communicate and for it to be almost spontaneous and fast. And this person has fulfilled that for you. They may be somebody who just gets you going. You know, you sit next to somebody and you start talking and it just feels like an immediate connection. I wonder whether you two were like that. As there was an ease there and it was fun and it was free flowing. The barrier to this is really strange, because this is them, the Eight of Wands. If I explain it to you, the Eight of Wands is a passionate, fast-moving card. It's like these meteors, coming down to earth. It's almost as if this person is passionate and grounding. It's like the arrows of Cupid. I think if this person was attracted to you, which I'm assuming they were by the fact that they've got this card in the first place, you would have known about it straight away. It doesn't make me feel as somebody that would hide it. It's somebody it's like Sagittarius. This is Sagittarius. It's somebody who's passionate and tells you. It's Mercury in Sagittarius. It's free-flowing, blunt, direct, and communicates exactly what they're thinking and feeling. And from where you stand, it's just really good communication. What's not to like about somebody telling you they fancy you? You know, that's just, it's exactly what you wanted. But this is strange, because the next card you've got, next to your Ace of Swords, is the Page of Swords. So the barrier is the communication. I think the communication that you had is not there anymore. And that's what this person's missing. I haven't looked at these cards yet, but this is what I'm picking up straight away, that your person enjoyed talking to you. You may have talked online, on the phone. They don't do that anymore. Texting or just one-to-one conversations, but I think it was fun, and I think it made them feel alive. These are passionate cards, and you're coming across as the Ace, so I think both of you probably have some air somewhere in your chart where you actually just like to spar verbally. What can you do about this situation? I think your situation isn't as close as it used to be. You've almost as if you've been pulled apart, and there's a lot of standing around and watching and waiting to see what's going to happen next. And you've been asked to use your strength. It's almost as if you need to be quite wise in the way that you react to the situation. It's not like an impassioned plea or throwing yourself on the floor and yelling like, why aren't you with me anymore? It's almost as if you have to be a little bit more astute in the way that you get this person back into your life if that's what you want. I wonder whether your person's... So you've got the Emperor here, you've got the Eight of Wands, and then you're being called to use strength. So I wonder whether your person has quite a dominant personality and they're quite direct, and it's almost as if because they let their feelings be known, possibly, that you are put into a position where you have to be the strong character, because it's almost as if you're batting up against another strong character, but you have to find a different way to do it without batting their ego too much. I think if you chase this person, and especially if it was an aggressive way, like, why haven't you called me, why aren't we, I don't think it would go anywhere. I think you have to be quite clever, because this card is what can you do about the block that you have at the moment? Because if you are missing, the question is, are you missing each other? You're not together. So I think that you possibly have to be quite wise. You need to make this person feel as if... Sorry, camera clicks off after half an hour. And you just left them fantasising and watching and waiting. You've got two cards here for distance. You've got the Page of Swords here, which is the barrier. And it's not distances, and I don't feel as if this person that works abroad, they possibly could, because distance is distance. And this is like watching. They could work abroad actually, because that's normally overseas, isn't it? But this person is watching and waiting, and then the communication is distance, where there's like a detached perspective or detached relationship where one's on the hill looking at the other, and this is the same sort of feel. So I think your person has an energy of being in control, and you've got on really well, and the relationship's flourished. But for some reason, which I don't know about, it's almost as if the relationship has pulled apart slightly, and there's a lot of wondering, there's a lot of fantasising from their point of view, there's a lot of them wondering when they're going to see you again, when they're going to come across you again, and they feel there's still that connection, the possibility of getting back together, but they know that something has disappeared. There's been some pull that's pulled you apart. And I don't think this person functions very well with the 8 of Wands up here with distance. It may be somebody that needs a connection and needs passion to be kept alive in some way. As these cards, this is quite a fiery feel. And fiery people, they don't thrive on fantasies and watching and waiting for too long. They need to have contact. Right, I'm saying that the best thing about you both when you were together is the Hermit. So I might have to basically eat humble pie here. I'm going to have to put cards on that because that does not go with the 8 of Wands. The best thing about when you're both together, the Hermit would be, to me, is, I'll put some more cards on it, is that they felt an internal, strong spiritual connection with you. I wonder whether your person is quite Sagittarius anyway, because if that's the type of thing that gives them a kick, that spiritual pull and that spiritual bond, and then they've got the 8 of Wands here, which is Sagittarius, and it's passionate, and the fact that they don't seem to be doing really well with just watching and waiting, I wonder whether your person is quite fiery, possibly has a strong Jupiter, and they're almost calling on you to match them with their fire and their passion, but in a more subdued way. Not that you have to be subdued, I think you have to be there and you almost have to make it think that it's them. Fire sign people they might like the fun of being chased because they think they're going to get the reward at the end, but in reality they like life to be a challenge. Anything that comes too easily comes too easily. So I think you need to be a little bit wise and just show up in this energy, in passion and in feist and fun, and get close to this person again, but almost keep it as in let them think it's their idea, because I think your person feels a really strong spiritual connection with you with the Hermit here, which is probably why they're doing all this fantasizing about you when they're not with you, and all this looking out to see where you're going to be next, when your next email might come in. I don't know what it is, but there's a real sense of illusion and waiting, which your person won't like that. I don't think your person will like all that airy fairiness. I think there may be somebody that just likes things to be there and likes things to be moving and sexy and adventurous. Okay, best thing about your relationship is the Hermit, Justice, and the 4 of Swords. Okay, the best I can make of these cards here, because they're a real unusual pile together, is to carry on with that initial thought that they feel there's a spiritual connection. Justice to me is like weighing of, it's like balancing things, and it's almost as if, you know, when you feel like you're with something, it just feels right, and it feels like the connection has been there in the past, even it's like a past life feeling, there's just a strong bond and everything feels equal. I wonder if this person feels like you've turned up in their life and it's just correct, it's just right, it's just at the right time, they've waited for you, and they're scared of you slipping out of their life again. Future, how things look like in the present. Right, okay. I don't know in what scenario that you actually know each other, but I think there's going to be some movement between the pair of you pretty soon. It's going to be the type of movement that this person basically is fantasizing about. It's fast, it's adventurous, it's fun, and it's just definite movement. And it might happen quickly. And I don't know whether you're a mother or whether you just have that energy of somebody who's quite nurturing and caring and strong. But that's how this is how your next steps are going to feel. I'm going to leave that because these feed into these cards here. So your next connection, your next steps, or why they're missing you, because they feel a real strong spiritual connection, and I think they are fed up of doing the fantasizing and they're fed up of watching. And what's going to happen, it's going to start moving soon, and this is going to call on you to use that energy within you that's quite smooth and loving and calm, and it's almost as if you need to make way for them to feel like they're moving forward. See, you've got 2 fiery cards here, so I wonder whether you, and the strength card is like fiery but wise, I wonder whether you need to make some sort of movement in their direction, but let them think. This is really, this sounds awful, but let them think. They've made all the moves and they're basically doing everything themselves. And when you're there, you've almost, this feels a bit sly to me, but this is just what I'm getting at, because you've got a mixture of you needing to be fiery and strong, but subdue the energy, because you've got the Knight of Wands, how the relationship looks like from your perspective. So you think it's moving and it's passionate and it's strong, but then it's almost calling on you to subdue your passion and subdue your fire and come across a little bit more gentle and in a lulling nature. I don't know why, but the only thing I can think why is that I think your person needs to feel that they're the boss in this relationship. I'm going to come back to that. How they see the relationship is just getting started. They feel the relationship was just getting started, and then for some reason, if you're missing this person, it's almost as if it's stopped. So they feel it's almost like a childlike enthusiasm for you, and there's some separation, or they're not with you as much as they want to, but they still think there's a chance with you. And I think you're going to have to muster up some scenario where you're in contact with this person and you've organised it, but they still think it's their decision, and then you've got to sort of sit back and be a little bit sort of let them feel as if they're coming towards you. If this doesn't suit you in any way, just don't do that. Just don't do it. Because it's asking you, this pile to me is asking you to be forward and submissive at the same time. To be strong and be there, but then let them do the last movement. Hold on a moment, just linking a couple of cards together here. Right, well, the future influence is Queen of Cups, and that's what we just talked about with you, as in regards to this quite a conflicting energy of them wanting passion and wanting attraction and wanting you to be a strong person, but almost as if, and that's how you see the situation. You see passion and you see excitement, but it's almost as if they want you to pull back so that they can come forward. And the future influences is you coming across as the Queen of Cups. And then these 3 cards here, what they want back in their life is the Queen of Cups. They, with Emperor, they want to feel like boss hog and to start something new. Okay, right, I'm going to leave these 2 to the end, and I'm just going to sum up. Now it's all coming together a little bit more. I think that you have fallen for somebody with really strong ego or really strong passionate energy, probably both. And what's happened, I think you've got together and the communication has really been on fire. I think you've communicated well and it's been quite passionate, but there's been some sort of falling apart. I don't mean an argument, but there's some sort of movement apart from each other. And this person is missing you, and the fact that they are fantasising and they are watching and waiting, this isn't what they want to do in life. Your person is not, he wants to take the reins, they want to move forward. But what they're missing about you is the communication and the fact that you basically hit it off really well. And they feel that your energy is a really sweet connection, but it's got passion with it as well. But they miss you being the Queen of Cups. They miss you being that ideal, beautiful male or female that fulfills a relationship ideal. This is where it gets even more complicated. But this pack is asking you not to show up as the Queen of Cups, which is this person's ideal. And your person's come across as the Eight of Wands and the Emperor. And that's a real hard pile to deal with. This real kingpin feel to it. But fun kingpin. But they're asking you to almost pull out your inner strength, but turn up as an equal and let this person move towards you. And the end result is really good. The end result is the Lovers, you've got the Six of Pentacles, and you've got the Ten of Pentacles. So it feels like an established relationship, or relationship which I'm feeling is going to be more equal. I wonder whether in the past your relationship was a little bit more unequal. Whether this person held the reins more than you. And this person's quite a forceful character, and I think you may be separate at the moment, and this person is wondering what on earth's gone on. Why haven't you come towards them? You're probably both healing from this. The communication and the attraction's there. I think your person likes men or women in their life to basically be a little bit more, I'm not saying likes them to be submissive, but in relation to them, yes they do. With that Emperor energy there, and this person asking you to come as the Queen of Cups, but these cards asking you to come back feisty. But wise and feisty. Okay, right, lovely. I like this. You need to come back to this person with all your strength intact, but you need to come back as your usual self, the Queen of Cups maybe, and this is like this person's ideal. They want somebody who is that ideal partner, who is there and caring and loving. This person's passionate, this person's strong, and they're almost expecting you to not be. But yeah, I think you are, and I think you need to be, but you maybe don't have to show them, reveal everything to them. It's not being sly, it's just basically being multifaceted. Oh my gosh, how to get out of an accusation or an argument. So just do that, just show up, be yourself, but be wise about it, and be open and loving and gentle and kind, and this will make this person melt, and this person's quite passionate, but they feel a real spiritual connection. Okay, right, and the end result is, I think it's going to be the possibility of it's like a sexual relationship, it's like completion, it's like family, and I think this card to me, with everything that's gone on, speaks of a more equal relationship. I think your person's quite naughty. I think your person likes to be in control but doesn't give the impression that they like to be in control, because I think they're coming across as somebody who is quite fiery and fun and adventurous, and they're quite passionate, and I think that's bowled you over. I think they communicate well, and I think you've really got together and hit it off. And this person sees you as their ideal man or woman because you're gentle and you're kind. It's the type of person with this Ten of Pentacles that they would actually like to have as a long-term partner, but they're almost calling on you to just be that. But that's not all you are. You're more than that. You've got strength and you've got passion which matches theirs, and their energy that they want quite happy expressing, but not for you to express. So, and there's a spiritual connection then. Your person's almost trying to muddle things behind the scenes so that it fits in with what they want. But what about what you want? So do they miss you? Yeah, they do. They are struggling with you. They are struggling with your connection because it's strong and they feel it and they like just talking and being with you and chatting and just all those, just the exchange of energy. And they know that they've lost a part of you already, and so they're just watching and waiting and fantasizing, but the connection is spiritual and they feel as if there's a huge connection. They don't stop thinking about you when they're not with you. But I'm going to finish there, pile number 2, because I don't think you need me to tell you again about how wise you need to be. Right, good luck with that, pile number 2. Let me know if that rings true in any way. And thank you for listening. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Oh my God, what have you done to each other? This is a real unusual pile, so I'm going to go through it bit by bit because the energy, your person's coming off as the Fool here. So your person is probably somebody who's quite strong-willed, strong-headed, adventurous, likes to start new things possibly, maybe quite quiet, but definitely doesn't follow the crowd. There's somebody who is quite happy to shove everything into a bag, toothpaste, toothbrush, pair of pants and just go. They're probably not somebody who is very materialistic. They're probably just somebody who needs to be mentally stimulated. They like to talk, they like to move fast, and they like life to be fun and not tie them down. Even if they are like I'm trying to think, if they are in a more staid position in life, you will probably know something about or feel there's something about them that's quite rebellious or can take their own direction rather than waiting for somebody else to tell them what to do. It's just got that energy of somebody who thinks themselves and is quite eccentric possibly. But not eccentric in a way that's weird, but more in they don't listen to other people. The beat of their own drum sort of thing. And I don't know how obvious that will be. I don't know. It depends on what situation they are in their life. If they're in a situation they're older and they have to keep a job, you have to hide those things. You have to basically bury them inside yourself. So they may just seep through. If they're a teenager or if they're in the early 20s and they're like students, you can see more of that. But you'll sense it with this person. There'll be that different sort of eclectic, eccentric energy that may be hidden slightly, or maybe they're out in front by the way they dress, the way they speak, the way that they do anything. Right, from your perspective, this relationship is beautiful. It's fun. It's actually, I'm thinking Queen of Wands there. Queen of Cups. It's beautiful in the fact that you feel like it's the emotional connections there. You feel like you can be open and you feel like you can be loving, and this person makes you feel attractive. This person recognises your beauty and lets you know it. That's what I'm picking up from the Queen of Cups here. It's the woman who just is the other person's ideal. It's the woman that shows up as the partner in a relationship spread. So I think your person recognises you for who you are, and it's almost like their ideal. The barrier, I think, is coming from you in this relationship. So I wonder whether you are almost putting on that air of, I'm not really that interested, I might be interested, or I don't know if I can fit you in my life, or just plain generally hard to get, probably from the fear of being vulnerable, or possibly you could be just busy. It could be either, it could be multiple reasons, but you know this relationship is good and you know there's a connection there and this person makes you feel attractive and makes you feel loved. But this next picture here, can you see all these? Yep. Is you with a snooty face on. I'm just being solid, I'm just going to work, you may not fit in my life, I don't know. It's almost like a cool feeling. And what you can do about this, you've got the Strength card. The Strength card to me makes me feel you're already doing the Strength card. The Strength card is when you're hiding all your basic instincts that you don't like to show to people, like your passion, like your anger, like your fury, like your I don't know, anything that you may feel is too strong or too ugly for anybody else to see, you're almost trying to be nonchalant about this person and hide those things because you don't think that this person who probably already has told you that you're attractive to them, you don't want them to see the bits that you don't think are attractive to you. You may be trying to come across as being quite intellectual in some way by shoving all these base things down inside yourself and almost coming across as, let me think about this practically, let me see if you fit in my life practically. Let me see if there's a intellectual connection before we move forward. So it gives that feeling that your person possibly maybe quite bohemian in some way. They might be quite laid back, but I think they're quite different. And I think this person has made you feel attractive because they've probably just told you that you are. But I get a feeling you're struggling with that because I wonder whether you just don't want to lose control. The Strength card here and the Queen of Pentacles, especially this particular card, how it's depicted, it's almost as if you're trying to not reveal too much of yourself. So why do they miss you? I wonder whether you've just snuck off. I wonder whether, because of your feelings, and this person is quite free-flowing, you're giving me the impression of somebody who likes to feel in control, because if you're not in control, your vulnerabilities come out and it's painful, which happens to everybody. But I don't think your person with the full card here, with this little mouse, whatever it is, throwing itself off the cliff, is that bothered about that. But you may like your life to feel in boxes. You may like, this is my relationship, maybe somewhere you've been brought up to be very practical and be very sensible. Oh my gosh. And this person has shown interest in you and it's making you feel uneasy, and I wonder whether you've pulled off a bit. Let me put some cards. But it's not just slipped out of this situation or I'll try again. You haven't just slipped out of this connection. I think you've almost just a vanishing trick. Oh my God. You've got the Strength twice and you've got the Ace of Wands. Right, I'm just going to make this of what I possibly can. With your energy making me feel, I know this is why they miss you, but you're coming across quite strongly, which I'm sure is going to come into why they miss you, because I think you run off or pulled yourself back in some way. I wonder whether you have, with the Strength and the Ace of Wands, and this could be sexual, the Ace of Wands, whether you've had some sort of sexual contact with this person and you're the one that's felt as if you've revealed too much and disappeared into the night. Or whether the situation makes you feel quite balanced because of the connection and the passion between the pair of you, and you're the one that is thinking of moving away or has already slipped away, and this person has no idea what's going on. This person seems more free-flowing, more just hippie-ish in the way that they probably connect in relationships. It's not easy come, easy go, as in like they sleep around, but it's more laid back than you. I think you are trying to keep everything in perspective so that you don't get hurt. And I think that this person's missing you because I wonder whether the connection has gone further. Maybe you've confessed your feelings in some way, or you've had some sort of, I'm thinking sexual connection with the Ace of Wands here, and then you've found it too much and disappeared. And I do think that so your person's coming across as the Fool, and the best thing about your connection was the Three of Wands. Now I think probably because of your self-protective instincts, you gave this person room, and this person interpreted that as, what a fantastic relationship, because I think your person needs space to move in relationships, and I think you gave them that. I don't know whether it's part of you or whether it's part of your defence mechanism not to get too close. But I wonder, it gives me a feeling of that the barrier's been crossed in your relationship, or a boundary's been crossed, which to me feels like quite passionate. And almost as if there's the two strength cards, there's a rumbling of something, some sort of passion, some sort of expression that's forceful or sexual, or just or it could be anger, it could be anything, but it's something that most people like to hide that's come out, and you've actually thought, I can't cope with this, I'm going to disappear. And your person, although they're missing you, probably copes quite well with distance. So you may be very much wondering, why haven't they come back to you yet? Why haven't they connected you? Because I think you've given them distance in the past and they've enjoyed it, and I think that's just the way they function. So I don't really think there's going to be much movement in the near future with this relationship. There's still that feeling of you being slightly dissatisfied with what's happened, but I think you've done it. I think it's almost you that's pulled back, and you're waiting for everything to feel even again. You're waiting for everything to feel balanced again, but I think it's you that's waiting for the balance inside yourself, but not totally you, because this comes into play in a minute. I don't know how close your connection was, because your person is coming across as incredibly independent. So are they missing you? I think they're baffled. I think they can recognise a connection. They can recognise there's a sexual attraction there. But I think they're a bit baffled by the fact that you're almost coming across as you're not bothered. And so they're pulling back into their energy, which they probably function with in everyday life. As if, oh, all right, then I'll just pull back and get on with my life. Which I think is something they do naturally, not so much in response to you. So they are there in this sort of Uranus-y full energy of easy come, easy go. But not totally that, because Uranus doesn't let things slip out, but it's almost, okay, that's just the tide of life, I'll just watch and wait and see what happens sort of feeling. And you're there basically with these humdinging passion or But saying that, there's two cards here that do speak of pain and worry. So all the bits I've just said about this person, I think they do live their energy very much in a feeling of, I bet it's something that their parents probably did with them. It's almost like a travelling feeling. It's that sort of energy when you're travelling, where things are fun, things are exciting, but they don't last forever. And I think this person is accepting the fact that you're not together quite well, because it's part of their energy. But that card up here, what they want back in their life with regards to you, they feel pain. They feel like you have snuck off and left them in a bit of pain, and they don't quite understand what's happening. This isn't the energy of somebody who's going to come chasing you, because they understand, well, I give them their freedom. But they're always, there's a worry. There's these two cards are two people almost sneaking off. One's got their head in their hands, and they're both dark cards. So I wonder whether your person is missing, but I'm not understanding. You've got the Fool at the beginning for them, and you've got the Fool at the end. So, and then you've got the Knight of Cups. Okay. These last three cards are the most likely outcome. Your person started off with the Fool, and then we walked through the energy and I was going to say discuss, but I can't discuss with a cactus. But I've been talking about the fact that this person's energy is quite free flowing, and yours is almost as in you can feel the attraction, but you're almost trying to not show your underbelly. And this person's starting off with the Fool, and then the energy at the end is the Fool. So I wonder whether this whole situation is going to come full circle, and this person's going to come back to you in a measured manner with some offer of affection, with some offer of emotional contact and feelings, and with an almost innocent air about it. So the way that they started off the relationship, making you feel good, making you feel loved, is going to almost be the way that it ends, as in, not ends as in ends, but as in the conclusion to this reading. Right, so pile number 3. What is going on? Does this person miss you? Yes, they do miss you. They felt that you were the ideal in the fact, the way that I'm getting a feeling, although it's Queen of Cups, how you show up physically. They're attracted to your physical appearance and probably you're emotional with the Queen of Cups, the way that you connect. But I think you've had this air of come so close but don't touch about you, and I think that's for you to protect yourself. This person has the energy which is more free-flowing than yours. Yours is a little bit more structured, and as I said earlier, it's probably different ways that you've been parented. And is this person missing you? They're just confused and they are hurt. The fact, I think that they're not getting what they want out of you, and the feelings of passion are strong and the attraction is strong. And then I think it's your relationship has probably just progressed into doing a lot of watching and thinking, and your person has thought, okay, well, I can deal with that because I'm quite used to being quite detached. But actually they're hurting. There's a sadness about them where they feel as if they feel a bit vulnerable, but they're just coping with it because they're independent. But there's a need for balance and there's a need for healing in them, but they're just getting on with it, as in a bit like, well, there you go. But I do think they're going to come back to you, and they're going to come back with the same energy that it started, with them being free-flowing and giving and letting you know what their feelings are for you. And there's attraction there. Your person's coming across as quite sweet. Your person's coming across as somebody who gives you space, gives you room, lets you be who you want to be. And I wonder whether it's you that's almost as in, this relationship might not suit you, so that might be the way that your energy is coming across like this. I don't know why, but this relationship may not be giving you what you want out of it. And you're almost coming across with an aloof air of control. And I think you've actually, due to some passionate feelings, felt out of control and removed yourself from the situation, which has confused this person. So they're basically trying to balance things out in their head and put things on even keel. I don't think anything's happening now apart from a lot of watching. Your person's reverted back to their base sort of nature of being detached. But they're going to come back to you. I think they will come back to you, and it will be almost like things starting fresh as they did initially, where this person just tells you or makes you feel like you are the one. So do they miss you? Yes, but they are confused. They miss you and they've just reverted back to their nature of being detached. So if you're wondering why they're not contacting you, it's just because they think that's the right thing to do. And that they do need some time to actually, they feel a bit hurt too. They do need some time to get their head around it. Because I do think they're overthinking the situation. They're pulled back, they're not going to come close to you, they're trying to balance it out, but with the Nine of Swords, it's like repetitive thoughts and they're quite negative and they don't feel that they match up to what you need in a relationship. And I wonder whether you have the relationship has taken some step forward, which has been a bit, and I'm thinking sexually with the Ace of Wands and strength here, whether it's crossed the boundaries from keeping your passions hidden to actually showing them. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 3. I hope that makes sense for you in some way. I don't know whether it does or not, but let me know in the comments section if it does. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye.